For 5,000 years, it has been the ultimate form of money. It has been cherished by kings, coveted by empires, and trusted by ordinary people. It has survived wars, revolutions, and the collapse of civilizations. It has no counterparty risk. It has no CEO, it has no government that can print it into oblivion. It is gold. In our modern world of digital currencies, of complex derivatives, of central bank manipulation, we have been taught to see gold as a relic, a barbarous relic, as the economist John Maynard Keynes once called it. We have been told that it is an unproductive asset, that it has no place in a modern portfolio. We have been told to trust in paper, to trust in promises, to trust in the wisdom of the central bankers. This has been a grave mistake. And in the coming years, as the fiat currency system comes to its inevitable catastrophic conclusion, the world will be reminded of a timeless truth. Gold is the only safe haven. What is a safe haven? It is an asset that holds its value, or even increases in value during times of crisis and uncertainty. For decades, US Treasury bonds were considered the ultimate safe haven. But that is no longer the case. With the US government drowning in over $34 trillion of debt, and with the Federal Reserve printing money with reckless abandon, the Treasury bond is no longer a risk-free asset. It is a promise from a bankrupt entity, a promise that will not be kept. The stock market. The stock market is a casino, a bubble inflated by cheap money. When the next crisis hits, it will not be a safe haven. It will be ground zero of the collapse. Real estate is illiquid. It is subject to property taxes. And in a severe crisis, it can be difficult to sell. It is a store of value, but it is not a perfect safe haven. And what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a new and exciting technology. It has the potential to be a digital form of gold, but it is also volatile. It is unproven, and it is subject to regulatory risk. It may well be a safe haven of the future, but it has not yet earned that title. That leaves gold. Gold is the only asset that has stood the test of time. The only asset that has protected wealth through every kind of crisis imaginable. Why? Because gold is real. It is a physical element. You can hold it in your hand. It cannot be hacked. It cannot be deleted. It cannot be created with a keystroke. Its supply is limited by the laws of physics and the difficulty of mining. No government, no central bank can increase the supply of gold to suit its political needs. This is the fundamental difference between gold and fiat currency. Fiat currency is a promise. Gold is a reality. And in a world of broken promises, reality is the only thing you can trust. And the central banks know this. While they publicly dismiss gold as a relic, they are secretly accumulating it at a record pace. The central banks of China, of Russia, of India, of Turkey, they are all buying gold. Why? Because they see the writing on the wall. They know that the dollar-based fiat currency system is on its last legs. And they are preparing for the world that comes next. A world where gold is once again at the center of the monetary system. They are playing chess, while the average investor is playing checkers. They are thinking in terms of decades and centuries, while the average investor is thinking in terms of quarterly earnings reports. Do not listen to what they say. Watch what they do. And what they are doing is buying gold. They are building a lifeboat while telling you that the ship is unsinkable. For the individual investor, gold is not about getting rich. It is about not getting poor. It is about preserving your purchasing power in the face of a currency that is being deliberately destroyed. It is about having a piece of your wealth that is outside the system. A piece of your wealth that is immune to the bail-ins, the capital controls, and the financial repression that is coming. Owning gold is a declaration of independence. It is a vote of no confidence in the central bankers and the politicians. It is a statement that you will not be a victim of their failed experiment. It is a decision to anchor your financial future to the solid rock of reality, not the shifting sands of their promises. The time for debate is over. The time for action is now. Gold is not just a safe haven, it is the only safe haven. Let's address the common arguments against gold. They say it pays no interest. This is true. But in a world of negative real interest rates where your savings account is a guaranteed losing proposition, zero is a very attractive yield. The function of gold is not to generate a return, but to preserve capital. It is a defense, not an offense. It is the goalie on your financial team. They say it is volatile. This is also true in the short term. The price of gold, denominated in dollars, can fluctuate. But this is not a reflection of gold's volatility. It is a reflection of the dollar's volatility. Gold is the constant. The dollar is the variable. Over the long term, gold has flawlessly preserved its purchasing power. An ounce of gold bought a fine toga in ancient Rome. An ounce of gold buys a fine suit today. The same cannot be said for any paper currency. They say it is inconvenient, it is heavy, it is difficult to store. This was true in the past. But today there are many ways to own gold. You can own physical gold in the form of coins or bars. You can store it in a safe at home or in a professional vault. You can also own gold through exchange-traded funds, which trade like stocks. While physical ownership is the purest form of protection, even owning gold through an ETF is a step in the right direction. It is an acknowledgement that the paper money system is a house of cards. And the argument that gold is just a shiny rock, that it has no intrinsic value, is the most foolish of all. Gold has been chosen as money by the free market for 5,000 years because it has a unique combination of properties. It is rare, but not too rare. It is divisible without losing its value. It is portable, it is beautiful, and most importantly, it is permanent. Every ounce of gold that has ever been mined still exists today. It does not rust, it does not corrode, it does not decay. It is the ultimate store of value because it is the ultimate survivor. In a world of digital illusions, of virtual realities, of promises that can be broken with a keystroke, gold is the anchor to the real world. It is the ultimate hedge against the hubris of central bankers. It is the ultimate insurance policy against a financial system that is hurtling towards a cliff. This is not a call to sell all your assets and buy gold. It is a call for prudence. It is a call for diversification. It is a call to have a portion of your wealth, whether it is 5%, 10% or 20%, in an asset that is outside the system. An asset that will protect you when the system fails. The signs are all around us. The record levels of debt, the reckless money printing, the rising geopolitical tensions, the frantic accumulation of gold by central banks. This is not a drill. This is the end game. And in the end game, the player who holds the gold makes the rules. Make sure that player is you. Let's delve deeper into the historical context. The 20th century was an anomaly in monetary history. It was the century of the state, the century of total war, and the century of fiat money. Governments, in order to fund their massive armies and welfare states, systematically severed the link between money and gold. The final act was in 1971, when President Nixon, in a televised address to the nation, announced that the dollar would no longer be redeemable for gold. He said it was a temporary measure. It was a lie. It was the beginning of the end. For the first time in history, the entire world was on a pure fiat money standard. A standard backed by nothing but the promises of politicians. For 50 years, that system has held together, propped up by the military and economic power of the United States. But that power is now waning, and the system is beginning to unravel. The great bull market in stocks and bonds that began in the early 1980s was not a sign of a healthy economy. It was a symptom of a sick currency. It was the result of a relentless decline in interest rates, engineered by the Federal Reserve. It was a credit bubble of epic proportions, and like all bubbles, it is destined to burst. When it does, the world will be forced to rediscover the principles of sound money. It will be a painful process. It will be a process of creative destruction. The old institutions, the old certainties will be swept away, and a new system will be born. A system that is more decentralized, more resilient, and more honest. And at the heart of that new system, in one form or another, will be gold. Not because of nostalgia, not because of tradition, but because of the immutable laws of economics. Because in a world of uncertainty, in a world of broken trust, people will always seek out that which is real, that which is permanent, that which is beyond the control of any single government or institution. They will seek out gold. This is not a fringe belief. It is a view that is shared by some of the most successful investors in the world. Ray Dalio, the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, has called gold a top-tier asset and has recommended that investors have a significant allocation to it. Stanley Druckenmiller, one of the most successful traders in history, has said that gold is his favorite currency. They are not sentimentalists. They are hard-nosed realists. and they see the writing on the wall. So, how do you participate in this shift? How do you protect yourself? The first step is education. Read the books, listen to the podcasts, understand the history, understand the arguments. The second step is to make a plan. Decide what percentage of your wealth you want to allocate to gold. Decide what form of gold you want to own. And then, take action. Start small. Buy your first coin, your first bar, your first share of an ETF. The important thing is to start, to take that first step out of the matrix of fiat money and into the real world of sound money. This is not just an investment decision, it is a philosophical one. It is a decision about what you believe in. Do you believe in the promises of politicians, or do you believe in the timeless value of a substance that has been money for 5,000 years? Do you believe in a system of centralized control, or do you believe in a system of individual sovereignty? The choice is yours. But the clock is ticking. The fiat currency system is in its twilight years, and the dawn of a new age of sound money is upon us. Those who prepare will not just survive the transition, they will prosper. They will be the ones who build the new world on the ashes of the old, and gold will be their foundation.